Now I did. Okay. All right, let's move to, I'm going to close these images. All right. So Mercury,
Uh-huh.
since you were impressed, you're about to be further impressed. And by the way, you see what I'm doing here? I'm going down to the bottom left-hand corner down here,
Hmm.
and I am choosing 130% there in order to, and then say enter to make that bigger. And I can continue to do that till it fills my screen the way I want to.
Or you
Uh,
can just go fit on screen.
you could just say fit on the screen, but I've got so much else on here that it doesn't work for me.
Oh, okay,
But okay, so
good.
here's a bicycle. This selection would be incredibly difficult. So in this case, you could go to select subject, and that's the selection tool up there. Or since we have this generative bar down here now, I'm just gonna hit the select subject there.
Is that the same processing?
Exactly the same. It's just two different places where you can do it. Photoshop's got a lot of that. And take a look at that. Now, to show you how good that is, I'm going to select inverse and I'm going to delete. Whoops. Here's something you notice too. Over here on the right-hand side in the layers, there's a lock. It says background and there's a lock.
Hmm.
You need to double click in Windows uh, and then just say okay, and it unlocks that layer. That will now let me delete the background. So I chose inverse already.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to, just so it's easier to see, I'm going to edit, fill with background color, which happens to be white over here on the left, lower left. I'll say okay. And oh my gosh, we can't see it. That's because it's on top. And I'll move it right there. But
Incredibly clean selection.
look at all those spokes. You know, there's
Wow.
a couple little cleanup things here and there, but just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago, probably, I have done projects like that, and people have paid me to do hours worth of deleting things in order to get something to break out like this. So it's crazy. And
That's
it's crazy.
great. Is it legal for competition?
Yes, it is. Select subject is legal for competition. Okay, I'm going to move it a little bit because I'm going to show, whoops, wrong layer. So see what I'm doing here? I am on, if you look over to the right, there's a marquee around the layer that I'm on. And so I'm moving the white. That's not what I wanted to move. I wanted to move the bike. So I have to click on the bike layer and now I can move the bike. So what I'm going to show you is a technique that's not new. And I'm going to double click on the layer and you see there's all these effects that I can put on this layer. Well, the one I really want is drop shadow. And then I'm going to say, now I have to click on the word drop shadow or on this bar. And then it gives me all these different options on opacity of a drop shadow, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to have that drop shadow come down at 90 degrees. You can have it any angle you want. So watch what happens to the bike when I push distance. See that
Yeah,
shadow?
yeah, interesting.
I can say it's a shadow on the wall if I want to. I can increase the opacity of it. It's a dark shadow. It's a black shadow. I can take that distance. I can move it way up. And then I'm going to change something different. I'm going to take the size and I'm going to make that size bigger. So now it's a soft shadow, and I'm going to take that distance down a bit and just make it stand off the background like that.
How about the bend in the shadow where there would be a floor if this were a natural photo?
So in that case, that's a little more complicated, and I can show you that, Rick. So I'm going to just cancel this. And
The way
here,
you did it, I'm looking for the strap where you're hanging it from the ceiling in the garage.
Right.
yeah. So it's against the shadows against a wall. But Rick's bringing up the point. Okay, let's say if I wanted a shadow on the floor. So I am going to select just this bottom portion of the bike, nothing else. And then I'm going to click on that selection I made and say layer via copy. So I've just copied that. You can't see it, but I've copied that. Then I'm going to take that layer and put it behind the bike. And I don't know if you can see it on my screen on down here, but you can see just two little marks that are those tires. And I'm going to double click and I'm going to do the drop shadow again. And I'll show you what Rick's looking for here. We want to say, oh, this shadow's on the floor of the garage. And there's my shadow, like that. Something like that, Rick?
Yeah, if you had a photo of a bike sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall, and a light coming in from, say, above and behind the photographer,
Yeah, yeah.
and the shadow would be projected mainly on the wall, but partially on the floor. And it would bend at the floor because there'd be a different distance for the light to travel.
Yeah, so you'd have to do a couple of selections to do that. But one trick is this, you go up and see this angle tool. This is saying, where's your light? So now I'm going to move it over there. So my sun's coming from this direction, or my light is coming from this direction. I can move it on the opposite side. Now the shadow's moved over there. I can, uh, let's see what happens. I don't want to do that because it's going to move it. So that's where the shadows, the light's in the front and pushing the shadow back onto the wall. And you can size that shadow. Let's make it really dark so it's easier to see. But you can size that shadow and you can change, like I said, where the light source is. And what you're asking for, Rick, for with the bend and all that sort of thing is takes a while to do, and you'd have to make
That's okay.
you'd have to make a few selections. That's all. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but that gives you a quick demonstration. All right. So the whole purpose of this was to say what we can do for selection tool, and it's done, like I said, amazing, amazing things.
So could you do like multiple layers with multiple shadows or?
Oh, of course, yeah. So in order to get what Rick's talking about, you may also want to do like the kickstand. You may want to do certain things. You just keep making layers. So I could select this piece of chain and the kickstand, let's say, and then I could make that as a separate layer just by right clicking on a PC and saying layer via copy. And then I've copied the kickstand, et cetera, et cetera. And you always want to put that below the original layer so it doesn't make a line on the layer.
Yeah.
The shadow just falls behind.
You do that by dragging the layer symbols over top of each other.
Yes, so you always want, okay, let's just do one real quick. I'm going to do this chain and this, and I'm going to layer it via copy. Oops, I was on the wrong layer. So I'm layering a piece of the bike. There's the bike, layer via copy. And now it's above the bike, but I don't want it there. I want it below the bike so I can add a shadow to it. And I'll just do it real quick. Drop shadow. And create some distance on it and create my light source. And if you wanted to, you can, there's a button to push somewhere. Oh, see this use global light? If you click that, then all of your shadows will be coming at the same angle, the same direction, et cetera, et cetera. So I can say use global light, and that's what it's saying is my global light is what it's going right there. And I can increase the opacity so we can see it better. That's not well done, and that's not the way I would do it, but that's just demonstrating what we're talking about. Okay, so I've got this stuff going on the bicycle, and now I'm going to show you something pretty incredible and pretty controversial. And first I'm going to do is we're done with the bike, so I'm going to turn that off. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick video. So I need to stop sharing on this screen and I'll share. Oh, oh, here it is. I'm going to share this screen. Okay, so I'm going to play just about 4 minutes of this, if that. And what you're going to be looking at is a brand new camera that has built inside of it something called Nano Banana. If you don't know what Nano Banana is, you will after this. And it integrates with your phone, and you'll see what's going on here in a second.
With your iPhone, right?
It can be an iPhone. It is only iPhone right at the moment, but it will soon be Android phones as well.
Thank you. This might be a little bit of a different video than usual, but let's talk. This video is going to be about two things. First of all, the update from Kyra, which is a micro four thirds camera that you use in conjunction with your phone. It's pretty cool, and it's got a lot of interesting and innovative features, one of which is a lot of AI stuff, which is what the rest of this video is about. It's about man-made horrors of our own creation. I'm not really sure how I feel about AI in photography. And I started out this video as just a normal review of this camera, and it sort of spiraled. So this is Kyra, and this is the second iteration of this style of camera by a company called Camera Intelligence. If you've never seen these before, it's quite an interesting way of working things. It connects to your phone. It's currently only iPhone on this new iteration. And when you take photo and video, it immediately sends to your phone. It has a micro four thirds sensor, and it has the same one that's in the GH5F. So pretty good in low light and pretty decent all round. This new version has autofocus. It's single point autofocus so far with continuous on the way. It feels just overall like a much more finished and usable and interesting camera compared to the original Alice camera. One thing that I think they've implemented really well is there are filters now for your JPEGs out of camera. It shoots RAW and JPEG, so you're not tied in. But what I love is when you choose one of the filters, you have this sort of thumb dial where you can dial in the setting to taste and to the scenario you're in to make it a little bit more usable. Because sometimes when you whack a filter on in camera, the white balance of the scene might not be right. It might be indoors and look weird. It might be a cloudy day and make it look too cool. So this really helps you, as you go, on the fly, edit your photos in a really intuitive way. Let's get to it. The main new feature of Kyra is the AI features. It uses a service called Nano Banana, which is an AI sort of photo editing and generating service. and it's built into the camera. Make the camera yellow to match the taxi style. And this is just quite slow because my signal is here. It's bad. You need good phone signal. Damn, I want that camera. Oh my god, Louis, make that. Make the lens cap and the taxi sign yellow to match the camera. That's literally my dream camera. It's ridiculously good. When I first started playing with this, I went in, as I usually do, as a tech nerd. You know, new technology, this is cool. You know, I really want to keep up with everything that's going on. And then I came out of it going, oh my gosh, it is.
Okay, so what she was doing there is talking to the camera. She didn't type in that prompt. She didn't do anything. And it uses something called natural language models. And Google has invested many, many millions of dollars into this whole process. And they are they announced Gemini 2.5, which I'm going to demonstrate a little bit more about that. But it's also 3.0 is for developers right now, and it's all being integrated into devices. It's already integrated into the very top level of the Pixel phone. If you're familiar with Google has their own line of phones, Pixel phone, it's like $1,500. But Nano Banana is already integrated into it. And when you take a picture, you talk to that picture that you just took and say, blur the background, make the colors more saturated,
Wow.
turn girl's hair blue instead of red or whatever. So it's become rather Star Trek, the whole thing has been doing that. So it's going to be scary and interesting at the same time.
That's a really big jump. Like, so you got an iPhone, you can buy that camera for $700 or whatever. But from Google, you can just buy the phone and that's just totally integrated into the phone. Wow, man. I mean, people are just going to do all sort of crazy shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to use an image and I'll demonstrate how all this works. So I'm going to share a new image. And there's my manhole cover. It says danger. And I'm going to bring it up to about 170. I have to guess at this. Maybe 180 will do it. Okay. So I'm going to take my crop tool and I'm going to crop out this little strap or whatever this was in this photograph. And I chose this photograph for a couple of reasons. What Gemini, which is Nano Banana, Gemini 2.5, which is Nano Banana, what Google says and what Adobe says, but they haven't integrated it completely yet, so it's not done yet. But what they say is the editing that if you choose and select the box, it will only do the editing based on this image. In other words, it won't go out into the cloud and find a street that looks like this and do it, make changes. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to make a little selection here. Actually, I might be able to do it without even making a selection. Let's see if I can do that. So I'm going to try this. So first of all, you do have to select the entire image. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to generative fill. And I'm going to click on that. And then there's something new here in this bar that wasn't there before. And that is, do you see this FI? That means Firefly. So I'm going to click on that. And these are all called models. Firefly image 3, that's Adobe's AI. There's something called Flux Context Pro, which is somebody else's AI. And there's also Gemini 2.5 Nano Banana. So I'm going to choose Gemini 2.5 Nano Banana. And then I can't talk to it yet because that hasn't been integrated into my PC, but someday I will. So now I'm going to have to just type instead. So I'm going to say change text to uh, banger. Instead of danger, I'm now going to say banger, like a British banger. And I intentionally made the banger lowercase. And we're going to test it and see if it can do it. So I'm on Google Nano Banana right here. And then I'm going to say generate. And we'll see what it does. Ooh, didn't do anything. Or not much. It kind of made it lighter. All right. So now we're going to go to these models again. That was Nano Banana. Now I'm going to try Flux. And I don't have to type the prompt in again. I can just click on the Flux, which is this pyramid shape, and say generate. And let's see what that does with this. Each of the models have their own strengths. Okay, it changed it to banger, but it put it it's not at the same angle it was, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm going to go back, but you can tell that it used the exact same style of letter. It probably picked up from this image. I'm not 100% sure, by the way, but it probably picked it. All those tones and colors and pixels all came from this image and the word danger that was there before. And now we're going to go to the last one. We're going to go to Firefly 3, and we're going to say generate. So the catch is every time you hit that generate button, it costs you a credit. And Firefly did not do so well, as you can see. So I'm going to go back to Nano Banana.
Do you get your credit back for that one?
No, you don't. Isn't that too bad, huh?
How many credits do you get?
And I'll go through that in detail in a minute. I'm going to go back to, actually, I need to go back to the image. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, there's the danger image. I've still got my prompt down here. I'm in Google Nano Banana. Now I'm going to just select the area that I want to affect. Actually, 6 pixels is too much for this. So I'm going to have to not do that. I'm going to go with 0 pixels. You have to be careful of your feather and always look when you're doing something, look at your options. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it twice, just like I did.
What would happen if you said change danger to banger?
That's the idea. So generative fill, well, okay. It got rid of my, once I made that selection, it got rid of my prompt. So I have to put it back in. Change. And I'm just going to say text. I'm not going to tell it the word danger. Change text, but you can see there's other text on there. But since I've only selected the word danger, theoretically, it'll figure that out. Change text to banger. Nano Banana, generate. banger. Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, what Google claims is that it first looks at your image to use pixels from that. And I believe it in this image because that would be almost impossible to find another tone and texture and like that. And you're definitely not finding a manhole cover that says banger. So that's fairly amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so now you know a little bit more about models. And what I said was that I'm going to close this one. I'm going to close our manhole cover and I'm not going to save it. And by the way, all your variations show up here. Since I started over, they're gone, but I could get additional. Well, let's do one. I'm going to do another. I'm going to generate again. The prompt is the same, but this time I am not selecting the area where I want the text. And I'm going to say generate. And you can see that it's spinning over to the right there, and it's going to place my variation, but it costs you a credit every time you do that. Oh, it did it just fine. So this time it did it okay.
So Eric, you keep referencing this credit. So how does that work? Like, how do you pay for credit? How do you buy credits?
Mercury, I am so glad you asked me that. I'm not going to save this. Can you see my screen?
Oh my.
Okay. So here's the deal. I have Pam Perkins. This is her subscription. She just has the Photoshop Lightroom subscription, just like probably all of you. I have something called the Creative Cloud subscription. So I have all of Adobe's programs, and that's because I'm a graphic designer and I use uh, 15 Adobe tools. So let's look at Pam's because that's most likely like you are. And you notice this blue thing? Uh,
I do.
okay, that is if, and you can all do this right now if you're at your computer, you can click on Creative Cloud. That symbol, mine is at the bottom. It's kind of like a rainbow, and then it's got a sideways S on it. That's a Creative Cloud symbol. And I can go there. Oh, let me go there. I'll go there and I'll come back here. So let me see if it'll let me do. Yeah. Okay. I will do that and then I'll stop sharing and then I'll share again and I'll share my Creative Cloud screen.
While you're doing that, I will share that I looked at mine, and so yeah, I have a new feature here, which is Firefly. You view your generative AI balance. So that's like something I didn't know I had.
Yep. So here it is. And it says view your balance, blah, blah, blah. Ignore all that because it actually takes you to the wrong place. But up in the upper right-hand corner, do you see that blue box?
Right.
That's what you click. Did you click on it or did it open it automatically for
I
you?
just clicked on it. It gives me a new page.
Yeah. So
Shows
click
my,
on it
oops.
and it says view your generative balance. So you click on it. It takes you to a whole new page. And then you can see that I have 3,890 credits out of 4,000 left because I also pay a lot for my subscription. So that's why I have so many. But that's how you find out how many you've got. You just go up there and click on it and it tells you. All right, I'm going to get back out of here. and I am going to,
You said you do not click on view your generative AI balance or
no, you do. Initially,
oh, okay.
you, you click on just this blue box, and then that opens up this, and then you click on that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share back the original one that I wanted to show you. And that's my Photoshop. Okay. So all of you can check this, but if you have the Photoshop and the Lightroom subscription, you probably have X number of credits. And everybody, by the way, is different, which is very, very odd. Mercury, did you see how many credits you had?
No, but now you got me curious. So it took me to a different page, and I kind of got confused because if you open up Creative Cloud, you're not in Safari, but when I clicked on it, it opened a page in Safari.
Oh, okay. They don't have all the bugs out of this, by the way. But anyway, Pam's subscription, she has some sort of senior discount subscription.
I've got 500 credits left of 500.
Okay,
Oh,
so Mercury is 500, Pam gets 250, but she pays a lower rate than what you pay, Mercury.
Yeah, I'm paying 20 a month
Okay,
for Photoshop, and but I've got the storage.
okay. So you get 500, she gets 250, I get
I'm
4,000.
I'm seeing 250.
You get 250, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I have, well, I probably could have a senior discount, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, if you have a less than standard pricing, then you don't get any other additional discount. And I don't know how Pam got it so cheap, but she has it very cheap, but she also has pared down benefits. Um, and because I pay a lot of money every month, I get 4,000. But here's the kicker. I just used that Nano Banana, and I used Flux, and I used Firefly. Each of them uses a different number of credits.
Uh,
Wow.
And if you go on Adobe's website, it's not clear how many credits or not you get. I am currently building a table, which I'll share with everybody in the club, that will show you how many credits you get or don't get, and also how they are used.
Yeah,
So
I've got 250.
you have 250, okay.
50 also.
So you're going to use credits differently, and it's not transparent, right? I clicked on it. It didn't say you're using 10 credits. Do you want to do that?
uh,
That's what it should do.
mhm.
Uh, but I'm just demonstrating it, and I have lots of credits in the bank. So uh, it just reset on November 18th. And by the way, up until about 2 weeks ago, the credits rolled over. So I had like 9,000 credits in
Oh,
there, but they don't roll over anymore.
okay.
So whatever your anniversary date is, mine's November 18th, and then it'll be December 18th and January 18th. That date, you'll get your new fill of 500 credits or whatever.
Is
And
the
you can
reset
see
done annually, monthly, weekly?
monthly.
Monthly.
You can see Pam's. She has 215 or 250 credits that are left. And her next reset sets November 23rd. So it's all based on when you initially did your subscription. It was hers was the 23rd of the month that when she bought her subscription. Mine was the 18th of the month in 1991. But anyway, so that's a little bit about uh, about the credits. It's still confusing. If you know Matt Kay's, if you follow any of his work, and Matt Kay has one, I'll try and include that in the email I send out tomorrow.
Well,
But
I
Matt
have a
Kay, he's not happy
Klukowski,
with them at all.
little question.
Matt Klukowski.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was experimenting with generative fill earlier today, and all I saw as options was Firefly 1 and Firefly 3. I didn't see Nano Banana or anything. Is that
And
because of my subscription?
no, you should see those models should be on your bar, on your lower bar. You may have to turn off that generative fill bar
Hmm.
and go up to window and turn it back on, the contextual taskbar. I would turn
Hmm.
it off, unclick it, and then click it again and see if those show up. If they're not showing up, then there's something wrong.
Okay.
But you should get all of those models. And Chris, here's a test. When you go to filter, do you see AI denoise and sharpen from Topaz?
Um, let's see. Filter. I've got the Nick filters. Let's see. Uh, where should I be looking?
Just on that pull down, right? Can you see?
Under filter.
Look at my screen for.
Oh, yeah, I have AI denoise, AI sharpen.
Okay, so those are models just like Nano Banana is a model, and just like Flux and Firefly. So you have it. You have the 2026, right?
Yeah, I am running that now.
Okay. So yeah, it should be there somewhere. So your contextual taskbar may be there
I
might be
need to
something wrong
turn
with it.
off and turn on something.
Yeah, and see if it shows up. But here's the other reason why it may not have shown up, Chris. You
Hmm.
have to take the selection tool, marquee tool, or some selection tool, and you have to select something.
Okay.
Now,
I
I'll,
had done the cropping tool and it extended my boundary and wanted to see how it filled that in.
yeah, don't use the cropping tool. Use the marquee selection tool.
Okay.
And here's what I can show you, everybody. Look down at the bottom. It says select subject, remove background, just colors. And I'm sure Chris can see all those things. However, as soon as I select something, that changes. Generative fill, remove, and then here are the models. That's a Firefly model right there. Oops, sorry. You have to, let me start over. I selected it. You have to click generative fill. Now the models are there. There's the, that's the Nano Banana. Here's the other ones.
Hmm. Still being.
So
Okay.
collect something, select something on your screen,
I did.
and then click in the generative fill box.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I
And
still just see Firefly image 3 and Firefly image 1.
you don't see the partner models.
No.
Okay, well, you may need to update you may not have the latest update from
Yeah.
Photoshop, but they're all in there now.
Hmm.
And there's a bunch of new stuff in there too that I'm not going to talk about because we're already over time. But the one thing I do want to talk about, and I'm going to turn uh, this whole thing off so I can see everybody. Okay, so here's the one critical element that is a positive in all this scary AI stuff, because the resolution is so good with these. Like as you saw in that manhole cover, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell that it was changed. But Adobe and Google, both of them have promised that they will integrate pixels into these images that will identify them as AI. Now, here's the catch, right? Yes, there are pixels in there that identify them as AI, but you can't see them. And you have to have a special tool, and that tool is called the Synth ID. And that goes in, analyzes an image, and says, hey, that's AI. And I don't know if it gives you how much information it gives you. I'm on the list with Gemini, Google, in order to get the early access to this tool, but the tool has not been put out to the general public yet.
Will it distinguish between benign AI like generative fill and phony AI, which distorts reality?
I don't know the answer to that question, so we'll have to see.
It's a tough question.
It is. It is because it'll label something as AI that all you did was it'll like if you expanded the borders maybe, or did something like you said, a generative fill. Anything that has the word generative in it is AI. However, just thinking back, everything we do with post-processing is AI.
Yeah.
Cloning is AI, darkening, dodging, all those things is
And they've had artifact removal for years.
yeah, yeah. And the topaz denoise and sharpen, same thing. It's called AI. Is it really AI? I think of AI as adding things to the image or
Yeah.
distorting it or all those things. So,
Based on a huge database external to your image.
yeah, right. But if every pixel in that image is your pixel that you shot, then I'd say most of that should be okay, but that's to be determined.
Right.
Do you know if they have plans to Google like to integrate in search where you could do like a minus AI argument for your search
Yes,
query?
actually, and that was brought up in a seminar that I went to that you can turn off AI so that it will not use any AI. However, whose definition of what AI is are they going to use? There's a bit of a conundrum about all of this. And we're all in, uh, it's, they used to talk about how the World Wide Web was going to be such a wonderful thing. And I did my first website in 1996 for a client. And I called it the Wild Wild Web because well, so many things didn't work and so many things were broken. And the advantage we have now is that our technology and computers are so much better that we're going to have to suffer through AI for a couple of years, but probably only a couple of years.
Can I ask an unrelated Photoshop question?
Yes, sir.
I'm still a novice with Photoshop, and I need a good tutorial on basic Photoshop. Is anyone here familiar with Ray Hennessy's video course?
No.
No. Okay.
You know that Matt Kay has the whole series of them.
No, I'm not. What's the name?
Matt,
Polkowski.
Kloskowski.
Polkowski.
Kloskowsk. Rick, I can get it for you. I'll send you the information.
Okay, thanks.
yeah, or even if you Google Matt Kay, it comes up.
Yeah,
So,
Matt Kay will give you the
yeah, yeah. But even better is that because you have to pay for his courses, even better is on my YouTube channel. Uh, 2, 3 years ago, I went through and did a series called Photoshop Basics, and it takes you through the very beginning of Photoshop, and there's like 6 or 7 just to give you the basics, and then you can go into other things. So
It's still up on YouTube?
yeah, I'll send you the link, Rick.
Okay,
I'll send it to
thanks.
everybody
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that'd be good.
Okay, thanks.
Uh, Okay, let me just get everybody that's in the meeting and I will send you the link. I'm just writing down everybody's name. Kevin, what's your ability with Photoshop?
I've used it, I think, since '94, but not deeply.
Okay.
I've used it a lot to paint and
Yeah,
then just for basic stuff. Um, but I use layers and
okay, yeah. So there are so many changes, and just with Adobe Max 2 weeks ago, I'm going to send you probably 7 or 8 links to Adobe Max seminars, which are all online and free now. By the way, Adobe Max, if you go to the actual annual conference in LA, it's like $1,400 just to get a ticket to go in. But it's all available for free now, 2 weeks later. It's all online and you can see it all. So I went and spent many hours, and I'll send you all the best links for photographers, and then you can use those.
cool. Thank you.
Great, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll send you a link to the recording from when we started recording, which was after Kevin's image. And we can hopefully get more out of what we talked about tonight. Uh, any other questions?
Thanks, Eric.
You're
I'm so
welcome.
confused. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, it's you know, after watching all of those links that I'm going to send you, you don't have to watch them all, but watch 3 or 4 of them. It became much clearer for me, and just because I've been doing Photoshop for a very long time, but it helps.
Well,
All right,
thank you.
everyone, thanks for attending, and look for the links tomorrow sometime.
Okay, good night.
Good.
All right,
Good night, everybody.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks,
I,
Eric. Thanks, Eric.
I,
take
Thanks,
care.
Eric.
I just went through the process
Thank
again, and
you.
now I'm seeing the partner models.
There you
So
go.
I
Good
just
job,
had
Chris.
to toggle it, I guess. So thanks.
All right, take care, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
You bet.